Hello, hello. Welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you can hear me at least, or whether you're picking this up later on the when you're watching it direct recorded. So I've got a few issues with my connection today, but say if you got if you can hear me okay, just give me a thumbs up, whatever. Look, I wanted to come live on this. I wasn't planning to, but I wanted to come on live to address a couple of issues that have come up over the last few days, and I wanted to address a couple of comments that have been made on a couple of videos. Now, this is how I make my videos, first of all. So I've been making videos for quite a few years. On this channel, this particular channel, it's been open, what, a couple of years now. I started off purely just making videos. This is not working, is it? Hold on. No, sorry, I think it might be working again. I don't know. Right. Right, so I started making videos on this particular channel purely just to document, I suppose, archive my rides, especially my off-road riding rides. Anyway, so then that sort of developed into sort of sharing my experiences and sharing what I know based upon all my years riding experience, both on-road and off-road, and what I was actually doing at the time. Right, so then my channel's always really been about not particularly one specific bike or whatever. It's about my riding experiences, or where I go, what I do, what I'm riding at the time, and what I'm finding out about it. Right, so that being said, then I got the Harley Davidson, right, for lots of different reasons. I got the Harley Davidson, the Sport Glide, which I absolutely loved. But part of the new direction I took the channel was about sharing my experiences, sharing what I know from my motorcycle world, if you like, but then also sharing what I'm learning about the Sport Glide and the Softails and Harley Davidson as a whole. Now, whilst being ultra positive, and because I love the bike, of course, and ultra enthusiastic about what it can do, and I'm learning more and more, and I'm each day with each ride, and I'm putting it through its paces. I'm also asking lots of questions of it, and I'm asking the questions that I feel that I should be asking, which I'm naturally asking, but also possibly what many of you might be asking as well. So I kind of started off slowly about what I thought might be interesting or not. And then the more I got into it, the more I'm asking questions, the more I'm wondering, are there any issues with it? And if there are any issues, because they're all motorcycles, of course, they're all machines, can there be fixes for it? So that's the kind of direction which I wanted to take it, to actually provide you guys with as much information as possible, and also to come up with any solutions or any fixes for it. Well, apparently, according to some people, that's not good enough, and that's not exciting. So, about a couple of comments recently. I am actually going to name and shame here, because personally, I just don't think this is on. So, first of all, let me just say there was one comment from Michael Matheson. Okay, now this is an interesting one. First of all, he said. Basically that let me just try and find it. Oh yeah, could be, might be, perhaps, I think. Not too big on facts for a useful YouTube video. That's right, and basically it was about my latest one that I published about the saddlebags, right? Well, actually, if you understand the video and watch the video, it's not about providing facts. It's actually discussing the possible scenarios why certain people have had bags come off and other people haven't. You know, so you've really got to watch the video, and you've really got to. Sorry, I'm still having problems with the internet connection here. You've really got to watch the video and really watch what I'm saying, because in another couple of comments, you've actually started to engage with the issue as well and started to engage with some problems. So one thing you're being ultra negative, the other thing you're actually engaging. Doesn't quite make sense. Now, I've always said about anybody who wants to come onto my channel and comment, you're absolutely welcome to, and I don't necessarily want you to agree with me either. I think that's, you shouldn't just be agreeing with me. In fact, virtually every video I make, people are coming on and they're either disputing what I've said or adding extra bits of information or correcting me in some way or saying that I've missed out on something. That's exactly what I want the channel to be, and I always say this on virtually every video. It's a discussion point. Do you have any other information? Leave it in the comments below. I make it specific so that whoever's watching and the video can learn from the video, but also in the comments below can actually gauge extra information. Okay, that's the whole point of it. So when you're saying you're making a negative comment based upon, you probably haven't even watched the whole video, or you're getting completely the wrong end of the stick. That doesn't annoy me, but what it does is shows that somebody can make a negative comment and it can remain unchallenged. Well, I'm afraid for me that doesn't work. If you make a negative comment on my channel, that's fine, but you will be challenged on it. If you make a negative comment but you're abusive or you use foul language or any way, shape or form, that's not me being sensitive, which I don't particularly like to hear. That's not me being sensitive. One, I just think it's uncalled for, but also on YouTube they don't like it either. In fact, they make a big deal of it now to stop any swearing or abusive language. Well, it's quite simple. If you're going to come on here and start doing that, you'll get deleted, you'll get blocked straight away. However, I will let you have the right of reply, and I will let you have the ability to voice your opinion. Absolutely right. As I say, I always welcome opinion. I always welcome people with a different opinion, but as long as it's constructive, as long as it's helping the community or helping people with sport glides or Softails, it gives them extra information. If I've made a mistake, I hold my hand up straight away. Got no problems with that. I don't have all the answers, and I openly admit that. So this leads me on to the second point. So again, I will name and shame here. Okiman, right? So basically, he started off with, on the same video, he said, "Do you ever put anything positive up about Sport Glide?" Now, interestingly, 2 or 3 months ago, I got exactly the same comment from somebody else on another account. Okiman has actually commented in the past in a kind of dubious negative way as well, but this is the first time he started to question it. Anyway, so we had a bit of to and fro as well. You can check the video on the saddlebag so you can see it. I've left it. I haven't deleted anything here, so you can see it. And it basically comes down to, now, let me just try and think here. It's my opinion that your thumbnails are usually negative headline grammar attempts, which is why I don't watch much of your stuff anymore. To me, you cast many dispersions on this biking show, or on this bike, I should say, he said. Okay, so this comes back to whether you think that the information I'm providing is negative, or whether you think it's good information or whatever it is. Personally, as I say, I want to know as much about my bike, and I want to know whether the positives and the negatives of it. If you just want to focus on the negative stuff that I produce, which I don't think is negative, I just think it's information, then that's you not actually looking at all my content where I'm being ultra positive about the Sport Glide as well. I've given you the opportunity to come onto this channel now and to give your point of view. I can see possibly it's a problem with my internet connection, but there's nothing coming through on my chat as well. Okay, if you want to, discuss this face to face, I'm absolutely no problem in meeting anybody face to face to discuss what I produce, which is only information, and it's only usually positive or knowledge based information. But to be heavily criticised, that's where I draw the line. Now, I don't even draw the line at that. Actually, where I am drawing the line is when people make accusations about me or the content that I've produced or what I'm doing. So here's where it gets a little bit interesting. Let me just hear. Sorry, I say I'm having lots of issues here. Right. Sorry, I got the wrong one. Okay, for some reason, I do not know why, but all the comments from Okiman have now disappeared. I actually do not know why. So he's basically making accusations about me, saying that I was just going onto forums and posting my stuff and then just, or copying what other people have said on the forums and everything like that. Okay, let me just clarify this particular point. When I first got the Harley, just like a lot of things, and I was sharing this information with a lot of you guys as well, was that I went onto the Harley Davidson forum and I was actually researching a video at the time. Cut long story short, I won't go into it, but basically I was asking the question, if you changed something or disconnected something on the bike, would it change the performance of the bike? You'll have to go back to the video when I talked about the WSS, disconnecting WSS. Now, I was basing that information on when I had another bike, we used to be able to disconnect speed sensors, vehicle speed sensors, VSS type things, and basically it would fool the brains, you know, the commander, to actually, or the ECM or whatever you want to call it, to think that actually, you know, it would go faster, and we could actually make the bike go faster whilst also you didn't have any speed indication. It was a bit of a problem, really. So I was asking the same thing. So I actually went onto the forum straight away and I asked this question: does anybody know if you disconnect this, does it have a change and everything? Well, I got a bit of a volley of abuse, I must say, and this is why I don't particularly like forums, because you get lots of people on there who do give good advice, or do give good information, like to share, as I like to share, but also others who are a bit high and mighty and think they're better than anybody else and try and put you down for no reason at all. That's why I don't like it. So occasionally I do go onto the forum, but I never post anymore. I just see what anybody else is saying, and I just research if anybody has actually put up any issues that I've also read about, or also people have contacted me about as well, which is the key point here. So if people are contacting me with issues, then you know who you are. You know that you've sent me emails or you've made comments, you know, via videos or via social media things, and saying, you know, do you know about this? Can you give advice on that? And I say, well, if I don't know the answer, I'll try and investigate it and I'll come back with an answer. And a lot of those times, as I've said, those produce videos as well. So to say that I'm copying other people, I'm sorry, is not on. To say that I'm going onto forums and posting is not on, because I don't do it either. I did it once or twice, very early days. I just don't do it anymore. The other thing is that he said, now you're lying. Well, he actually used another word. Actually, I won't say what it was. Begins with B, and you know, sounds like that. And then he said, basically, you're lying because you go on Facebook groups. Okay, well, for me, a Facebook group is not a forum. So, but I would give him that. I said, okay, fine. The Facebook group, literally, one of the there's two, as far as I'm aware, as far as I know, there are two Sport Glide Facebook groups. And I've joined two of them about 3 months ago, maybe, I don't know, something like that. I've hardly posted in there at all, only a couple of times, shared a couple of photos. I shared my, when I was going to do the endurance ride and everything, I shared a video of the endurance ride if anybody was interested in that, but that's about it. This last week, I've actually contacted both admins on each group to ask whether they thought that some of my information videos on the Sport Glide would be of benefit to the group, and do they want me to share those videos. One has come back to me and said, yes, we'd like you to, words of effect, yeah, please share your videos, but if there are any, these are the words they actually use, so I haven't got it in front of me, but I can quote it if you want. They actually said, if there are any credible complaints, we'll stop you putting the videos on. quite right, no problem at all. Because I don't want to, and I actually said this to them, I don't want to be trolling your site or trolling your group. I want to do this right, but I just want to provide you guys with extra videos which I'm producing, because actually I notice a lot of the people in your groups are actually asking the same questions. Is this, is this me just being negative and producing content that you don't want to produce? Well, I don't think it is. Is it me copying other people? No, it isn't, because actually a lot of the time I'm not even aware of these issues, but then people are emailing in with these issues. A lot of it, most of it, are observations which I am making about the Sport Glide, okay? Whether the good points or the bad points. Now, I've got to say, 99.9% of the content I produce, and I kind of say this all the time, that actually it's not my bike. I've never had an issue with my bike, apart from one issue, which are the videos about the fairing and the marking of the yokes. But the issues, that's been resolved. There's a video coming out soon about that. But I always say it's not my bike. My bike's fantastic. But these are some of the issues that have been reported. So you get trolls all the time, and you get people making complaints all the time. I don't have an issue with that. In fact, I find it quite comical if you're going to go to the lengths to actually, make negative comments. Personally, I don't do it on other videos, whatever. I might make comments, but I don't make negative comments. But it's within your right. Please keep on engaging with all the posts and adding extra information or correcting me if I'm wrong or whatever. No problem with that at all. Because for me, that is just adding to the information and sharing that information that anybody can have access now or in the future. Because I'm not deleting any videos, or I'm not deleting any comments or whatever like that. But what I don't particularly like is when people are abusive unnecessarily, or just making false accusations about me and the content that I produce. Now, I said this to Hockey Man in the report. I said, well, look, if I'm making videos about particular issues, but then it's also being talked about on forums, let's say, or in a group somewhere, then surely that is telling you that there maybe other people have reported this issue. Maybe it might be interesting. Now, it appears to me, Hockey Man, whatever your name is, because it's a faceless YouTube account. I don't know who you are. You haven't got a real name. Okay, I've offered you to come on here and actually defend your position, or actually accuse me face to face with a meetup. Nothing. You've told me that you're going to try and engage me later on this week in a Facebook group. Sorry, you've got the opportunity now. Now, if you want to make accusations about me, that's absolutely fine. Anybody can make a comment. I remember I saw an interview with Ricky Gervais, a comedian from the UK, a few months ago, on the True Geordie podcast, if you've ever seen that. Okay, I'm not trying to plug that show, but he was saying that actually people think that anybody online or anybody in the media or whatever, or anywhere, can actually receive any negativity and we don't have the right to reply. This means anybody watching this, anybody out there, you have the responsibility to you have the right to make any comments you want. Absolutely right, got no problem with that. But that does not mean that you cannot be challenged or not challenged, but based upon what you say, or indeed reported to any authorities if you're making really bad comments. It's as simple as that. If you're going to come on and make negative comments, then at least be negative in a kind of constructive way. If you're saying that this is just feedback or whatever, it isn't just feedback. Because actually what you're doing, you're misleading everybody else based upon what you're saying. So I have the right to challenge you based upon that. Then obviously you don't like that, because I'm challenging you on the misinformation that you're providing to anybody else who's reading this, or reading the comments or whatever. Suffice to say, I've actually got quite annoyed about this. I've actually got quite annoyed about actually somebody who's coming onto the channel and who's trying to disrupt a lot of the good work that I feel that I've tried to produce, but also all the positivity and the feedback which I'm getting from lots of people, not just online, but also on the emails, saying how much we value this content and we really enjoy it. It's really helping out. You know, Okiman, all you were focused on, your opening comment was to say, I think you're being disparaging to this bike, you're besmirching this bike. I think those are your words. I can't even quote them now because you've deleted them all. But what I could say is, you were saying, because this is going to affect the final value of my bike when I decide to, either when I decide to sell it or if I decide to sell it. Well, that just kind of tells me, first of all, that maybe you're not really committed to your bike anyway. Maybe you're not really connected with a Sport Glide, maybe as the rest of us are. Because I, for one, am not thinking about selling my bike. I'm not thinking about the end value of my bike. I just love my bike. Whatever happens in the future, happens in the future. And yeah, I'll make videos about that, about the what ifs and final values and everything like that. But I'm not thinking about that. And don't for one moment think that any video I make affects any value of any motorcycle. Because if it did, then I'd be getting phone calls and legal letters from Harley Davidson themselves. In fact, actually, I've had quite a bit of positivity from Harley Davidson in this regard, because I'm giving honest opinions based upon that bike. I'm being ultra positive, but I'm not being negative. I'm just saying, if there is an issue, this is what you need to look out for, and this is hopefully how you can resolve it. If that's not being positive, I don't know what is. So look, all I wanted to say to any of you, I absolutely fully appreciate every single comment. And as you know, right now, even though I'm growing or have grown with the channel, I still try and answer every single comment. I do. I try and answer every single comment, or give it a thumbs up, or like, or whatever you call it. Yeah, I try and do that. I try and engage on social media as well. But whatever comment you make, whether I agree with it or not in terms of the context of the video, I will always let it stand, and I'll always try and give you your fair share. And then most often not, if you read my comments, I kind of tend to agree with virtually everything that's being said, because as I say, it adds to the information, it adds to whatever experiences you have and I have, and it builds it up. It builds up a truer picture of what this bike is like out there. Now, for the most part, overwhelmingly, people are being very complimentary, not about me, about the bike. Some people love it, of course, some people like it, some people are not going to like it. But for people on this channel, or let's say in social media groups, which I've just literally started to engage with this week, I've just started posting videos this week in one particular Sport Glide group, is that actually you're getting quite positive about it. There's positivity about the bike. I'm ultra positive about the bike. But as I say right at the start, I ask questions of it. And do I have doubts about it? Yes, I do. And do I try and prove myself right or wrong? Yes, I do. Do you think I had doubts about how well this Sport Glide would do on a long distance endurance ride? Do you think secretly I wasn't worried at the back of my mind, thinking, I'm not too sure whether this Sport Glide is going to be good, whether I'm going to break down, whatever. There's a guy who actually, maybe he picked up on the tone of my videos beforehand, Ken, I believe, Ken, yeah, hey, look, who'd done a few of these endurance rides before. I think in one of his comments he said, your bike's going to be absolutely fine, whatever. It was great to receive that kind of positive reinforcement. And thank you for that. That was really good. And look, I'm only human. I got a newish bike, let's say, but I'm still thinking, is this bike really going to be suitable? Do you know what it was? It was fantastic. It was faultless. Didn't skip a beat, and I've made videos saying that. But to come on me and start accusing me of being negative or whatever, one, I don't know. Have you got a couple of accounts there that you're doubling up on this negativity, that you're accusing me? then to make accusations, and then to start swearing on my account as well. No, sorry, that's not happening. That's not happening on, you know, whatever. Now, the reason why I did this was also not last week, about 3 days ago, 4 days ago, I put out one of those community posts on YouTube. You may have seen it, talking about I've got videos going to the end of the year, but then I'm sort of thinking about next year on what I'm going to do with the channel, with the content, whatever. I've always said this. If you look at my earlier sort of live streams when I started with a Sport Glide, I said actually there come a point where I kind of exhaust all the information style video content that I can produce. I'm still going to try and produce lots of content and information about Sport Glide, but I don't know. So it really depends what you guys, you know, like, what you guys don't like, what I like at the end of the day as well. You know, so I'm going to be making a lot more sort of travel, ride, motor vlog type things. You know, me, the Sport Glide, you know, going off on adventures and all that kind of stuff. Yes, but I'm also going to keep on making videos, if I can, about giving you guys information as well. But I don't know. I'm asking. You know, it's not a consensus opinion, but I'm asking for what you guys want to hear as well. You know, if you find this useful as well. If you find it useful, then I'll continue making it. If you don't find it useful, then guess what? I won't. It's as simple as that. Actually, the figures, so whilst I'm growing, it doesn't tell me that I'm like a, you know, chase on two wheels or whatever. You know, somebody who's got 1 million subscribers now, biking channel and everything like that. You know, all the smaller ones, let's say Adam Sandoval or John Maxwell, who forgot his name the other night in the other live stream. You know, all the guys, you know, from Britain, you know, Missing and Fly or whatever. You know, they're all kind of the same level, 100, 120 odd thousand subscribers. All the lesser ones, or even my one, you know, we're kind of trying to produce content. Some people like it, some people won't. But, you know, you're trying to gauge opinion all the time. You're trying to produce content that may be helpful to certain people. You know, I think one of his comments, this Occupant comments, was saying that I'm producing, he's saying that I don't really watch much of your videos, or don't watch much of your videos anymore. So, okay, so you're obviously missing out then, all the positive ones, right? You're also saying that all your thumbnails are attention-grabbing negativity. Well, hopefully they are attention-grabbing, because, you know, he kind of accusing me of doing what I'm supposed to be doing in terms of trying to get you content and making you want to engage with it, making you want to watch it. I don't know. I don't know. Look, as far as I'm concerned, I said I'll keep on producing the content. There's lots of content to the end of the year. Who knows what will happen in the future? Whether there'll be some backlash on this, whether, you know, in the comments it will be. Yeah, but, you know, I'm not here, and if you watch this to the end, you'll know, because I'm just about to end this live stream. I'm not here to seek positivity from you guys, which is nice, don't get me wrong. It's absolutely lovely, you know, when you guys do that. But what I'm here is to give you an honest assessment of where I get my information from, how I produce my videos, how much research that I personally do for each individual video. Maybe some people will think that, do you know what, I just copy somebody else or whatever. I just see a video and I think, oh, I'm just going to copy that. Yeah, somebody's accused me of that in the past. Maybe I've just you know, just read it on some kind of social media group or Facebook group or a forum somewhere. Oh yeah, I'm going to do that. No, actually, what I do, I spend hours looking over the bike and just analysing exactly which each part is, and I go through all the service manuals and I read extensively of what it is, and then I think, actually, that might be an issue there, that might be an issue there. Let me have a look around to see if anybody else has had the issue. But I've already formulated the video. In fact, sometimes I've already made the video, then I'll start searching around. You know, sometimes you're kind of knocking your head against a brick wall here, because actually you're thinking, do you think I just make this stuff up? Do you think I just like to say, right, I'm going to make a quick video, boom, You know, now sometimes the more you do it, the more proficient you can become at this, no doubt. But it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of thinking time to do it. Now, what I want to do and hopefully improve with the channel is to improve the quality, improve the content quality, and how I'm making the videos, like the background and all that kind of stuff. I'd love to have a proper looking studio. I'd love, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'd love to have different cameras, different angles going at the same time. I'd love to have whatever, different settings. But that's about improving the quality of the content and the nature of it. That takes time, you know. But I think, you know, false accusations, shame on you. Shame on you for actually for even thinking that you're even going to get away with it, because it won't happen. It won't happen on my watch. And if that means that we close the channel down, lose the subscribers, so be it. Because I'd rather have people who actually want to engage with this kind of content, who actually value this content, but who are not afraid to actually tell me if I've made a mistake, or say, hey, here's some extra information, because that's the way it should be. Not for somebody just to come on and, you know, make false accusations or be ultra negative based upon what? What? Where's your facts? Where is your, you know, where is my right to reply? Well, right here is my right to reply. So there we go. That's it. You know, as I say, more videos are coming. As I say, the Sport Glide, there's lots of stuff on the Sport Glide coming. There's going to be lots of changes and different types of videos. I've got lots of riding videos planned. I've had a big spanner in the work this weekend, which I was going to do, but I won't go into that. That's more of a personal issue. But I say there will be lots more videos coming throughout the winter. I have to see how the winter goes, what kind of topics I can come up with. But it's one of those things, I'm daily thinking about different sorts of videos, and the more I ride the bike, the more I think, actually, that might make an interesting video, or that might make an interesting point to discuss, whatever. Some videos, of course, are discussion videos. Some videos are information. Some are, there's a problem here, you might want to investigate, you know, all that kind of stuff. Some are about, you know, dealing with dealerships, you know, having servicing, checking the bike over, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Anyway, right, listen, please leave it. Obviously, nobody's coming to the chat, but, you know, obviously everybody's too busy having their Sunday lunch. But, you know, this is Remembrance Sunday, so I've, you know, shown my appreciation for all the servicemen in the past as well, and women, of course. Say, leave comments below if you wish to, by all means. But as I say, this is literally just to come back at people who are going to falsely accuse me or the content on this channel. It just won't, you know, because other people would just block you, or they would just delete your comments, or they would just say, no, I'm not having it, or they would just ignore it. Maybe I should ignore it. But I'm sorry, if you're going to make comments and I'm going to leave those comments on there for everybody to see, then this will be my right to reply to you. Right. Have a great Sunday. Maybe this live stream has worked. I don't know. I'll just leave it up there. I'm not going to change it. And catch you on the next video coming very, very soon. But thank you so much for all the support anyway. Thank you for all the subscribers. Thank you for all the comments, whether critical or positive. I appreciate all of those, as long as they're constructive, as long as they add to the discussion, of course. Thanks for all the emails. Thanks for all the people who are going to the website now, and, you know, appreciating all the free stuff which I'm putting on there as well, all the extra information. You know, but say, and the increased engagement on social media as well. Thank you for everything there as well. Really appreciate that. But, you know, please, you know, say the more this channel grows, I just do it because I love the bike. I love talking about, you know, riding and all sorts of stuff. I enjoy this process. I enjoy the biking and being part of the YouTube world, if you like. I enjoy that. So that it's multi aspects. Lots of aspects why I enjoy doing the YouTube and making YouTube videos, part of it is a bike, part of it I like this process as well. But the more subscribers, the more views, the more engagement you get, the more likes, whatever that you get, the more shares that you get, it'll actually help it to grow, and also the content quality, hopefully, and capability of the channel will improve as well. Right, anyway, look, I'm not going to keep on going on, but thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and catch you again. Ta-da.